Well, you've been gone for way too long, and I've been spending too much time in this double wide alone. Wishing you'd come back to me. Wanted the simple way of life, a couple barking dogs and kids playing outside to warm our hearts till he showed up. Well, money might buy you that diamond ring, but it won't buy love. Well, it's a shame that you moved on for that flashy life and a couple new best friends. And if you wanna come back, girl, I'll let you in. And I'll give you one last chance again.
Honey, and you lie awake in bed, toss and turn all night, 'cause you're all alone again. Well, if I'm lying while you're crying on the phone, now that you're gone, it's a shame that life and a couple new best friends. If you wanna come back, girl, I'll let you in. I'll give you one last chance again.
Well, I've got the kids and dogs and that double wide's gone, and I'm happier where I stand. And now you wanna come back. Girl, I'm glad that you moved on for that flashy life and a couple long-gone friends. 'Cause you used up your last chance for him.
And welcome to the Hooch Live, everyone. You got Michael Harris here on Skype with me, and this is our live show about Oprah's Golden Globe speech. But first, gotta ask you a question. How honest can you be before you end up single again? So I kind of had a little bit of a situation earlier as my wife comes up to me and she goes, hey, can you give me a massage? And I honestly replied, and I said, no, that means I would have to work. The look on her face was not happy. I tell you that, and that is the quickest way to be single is to be honest. Sometimes I don't know. It depends on the person. It really does. My wife and I have a pretty good understanding. Don't have much of those kind of issues. I don't know. What about you, Mike?
Taking a shower together, dude. It's like Jesus. I just want to get in and get out.
I just want to do my thing.
I don't want to do all this wash my back, I'll wash yours type of thing. Hey, I can do that myself. I want to wash my own balls. I want to wash my own ass. This is like an intimate moment for me. And plus, you take up all the hot water because your back is to the shower. I'm standing in the cold waiting to get in the hot shower because, you got to wash your hair and shit, all this other craziness. So it can get a little upsetting.
I get you, man. I feel you. There's certain times that you're just kind of like, oh god, I just want to I want to do it myself. Like we don't have to do everything together, people. We don't
exactly.
Don't have to.
We need
I love you. I do. I love my wife very much, but
I love mine too.
My hands don't work like that anymore. Like of years of doing this, it's just
and the thing is that most people go to school to be a masseuse.
Oh yeah.
Months and months and months of training. You're asking me, a guy that's not trained to do this shit, to give you a trained
masseuse. I am not a chiropractor either.
A 15-minute massage. Man, my arthritis kicks in and shit. I'm just like, oh, my hands. Sorry, I'm bored.
It's not happening for me. I can't do that. I just can't.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So if you guys got something that can get you single really quick, just shoot us a message and let us know.
Yeah, let us know because I'm sure that's kind of happened to a few more people. Maybe there's some stories out there that somebody's like, I was too honest when I shouldn't have been, and that's okay. It happens to us. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. It's happened to everyone. Don't worry. No judgment here. Whatever it was, you can tell us. I promise you. Yep. It's safe with us. Anyway, okay, so to kind of get off of that topic is we wanted to actually kind of review the Oprah video. We've got it. We're going to play it and kind of go through it and talk about it as we go through. If you haven't seen it yet, then it's to me, in my honest opinion, it's good. I liked it. I like Oprah here and there. Same thing with Whoopi Goldberg here and there. It's kind of hit or miss depending on the situation. She is rich as fuck. We'll say that right up front. I mean, she made a lot of money. She made it on her own. From what I'm saying is she came from our kind of realm, our middle class. It's not like Donald Trump who came from rich family throughout time. She came up from nowhere, made up her own empire, and that's cool. That's heart that's inspiring. We love that. We love that about Oprah. I do think that she has a bit of a cult following. Lots of cult. Read my books. Read those books. Here, these are the books I think that are cool. Buy my stuff. But she did give a lot of people everything, and she makes really great memes. I will say that.
Okay, going back to Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Is it the Jumping Jack Flash Whoopi Goldberg, or is it the View Goldberg that you like? Because I like the more Jumping Jack Flash Goldberg.
It's in between. She has her moments. I'll say that this much. It's she has her moments. She gets things that I agree with, and then other times I'm like, oh, I wish you wouldn't have said that because I don't entirely agree with you, but you're your own person. That's fine. But that's how it happens sometimes. We can't help that. But.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like she gives really good hugs, and also she does. She looks.
So how does she look like she gives a good hug? So she just goes around bear hugging people's oh.
I don't know. She just looks
like
this. Is it
grandma's hugs? Is that what you're
honestly?
Talking about?
Yeah, honestly, I think Whoopi is probably a very nice person, super cool person, to hang out with.
Nice person.
I'm serious. That's how I see her until I hear her talk. Then I'm like, I don't like you. I don't like you. Go back to doing Jumpin' Jack Flash. That's when you was funny.
Yeah, it was funny when you were doing that. But
she looks like she smokes Black and Milds too. Her lips are black as fuck.
why is the white guy gonna have to say that's racist? Like that's messed up. Why am I always the one that's saying, "Hey, that's racist, Michael. You can't do that." Especially
That's
when
not
you
racist.
do
Black
when
people.
you no when you do your little Asian voice, I gotta go, Michael. Come on, that's a bit racist.
But I was told black people can't be racist, so
Black people
I'm
can't
good.
be racist because I don't know. Like they just get you get free handout ride for that one. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. White male can't do that. Can't do that at all. I will
White
be
cis.
I will
Male.
I will be dragged in the streets for that. I don't know.
You
Anyway,
better
so
check your privilege.
check your privilege, sir. Let's go into the video. Then, of course, I pressed the wrong button. That's cool. No big deal. Technical difficulties.
Always technology.
I know, right? So here we go.
Oh my God, she looks
She
so.
opened the envelope and said 5 words that literally made history. The winner is Sidney Poitier. Up to the stage came the most
Thanks for the follow,
elegant
redhead.
man I had ever seen. I remember his tie was
Harvey
white, and
Weinstein?
of course, his skin was black, and I'd never seen a black
Let her
man
speak. God.
being celebrated.
Stop
like
mansplaining.
that.
Bill Cosby.
And I have tried many, many, many times to explain. what
Okay,
a
can we pause it
moment
real quick?
like
Yeah,
that
hang on.
Okay.
means
So, I want to go back. It was Mary J. Blige and Denzel Washington. I like the fact that they were looking so, serious. Like
Like
oh my
super
God.
serious face.
Like super serious face, as if they didn't know this shit was going on. Get the fuck out of here. Get the
Like
fuck
you
out
should
of
see,
here.
like some of the people were really attentively looking. They were like really into the moment. Like as you see like later on in the video, they're just like, Emma Stone was like really like leaning forward into it. Like this is how you know
Oh
like
my God. It's
coming
cult following.
Yeah, it is, and it comes down to like a good rhetorician. And this is kind of what I studied in college. This is what I know is rhetoric and writing is that using appeals like this. She's really good at it. She's always been a really good speaker, and she's a really good rhetorician. And you can see the reaction from the audience and how like later on, she gets like a standing ovation. So anyway, let's get back into it and watch more.
She's a reptilian.
a little girl, a kid watching from the cheap seats as my mom came through the door, bone tired from cleaning other people's houses. But all I can do is quote
Dude's
and
face.
say that the explanation in Sydney's performance in
Wrong
Louis
one,
the
camera
Film-
guy. Wrong guy.
Amen, amen. Amen, amen. In 1982, Sydney received the Cecil B. DeMille Award right here at the Golden Globes, and it is not lost on me that at this moment, there are some little girls watching as I become the first black woman to be given the same award.
Which is cool. Like I like for her to be the first black woman to win it. That's something that
Yeah, and that's
good.
cool.
That's
It's also
cool.
cool that she mentioned all the little girls that all those pedophiles.
It is an honor.
In Hollywood, yeah.
It is an honor, and it is a privilege to share the evening with all of them, and also with the incredible men and women who've inspired me, who've challenged me, who've sustained me, and made my journey to this stage possible. Dennis Swanson, who took a chance on me for AM Chicago. Quincy Jones, who saw me on that show and said to Steven Spielberg, yes, she is Sophia in The Color Purple. Gail, who's been the definition of what a friend is, and Stedman, who's been my rock, just a few to name. I'd like to thank the Hollywood
slave.
Foreign Press Association, because we all know that the press is under siege these days. But we also know that it is the insatiable dedication to uncovering the absolute truth that keeps us from turning a blind eye to corruption and to injustice.
Which she's not wrong here. Like I gotta kind of stop it there. It's like there's been a long time with the problem with Hollywood where they've just kind of like turned a blind eye because that's business is business. It's a kind of a standard thing, and there's been a lot of corrupt things that have happened. Harvey Weinstein is a good example of that. And they've rightly rooted out a lot of people recently that have been on this, this power trip, this power train. And the best way you can put it is that they're starting to drain their own swamp, which is good. That's a very Trump thing, playbook to pull out, is like Hollywood starting to drain their swamp. That's great. That means a lot of people are going to be safer. There's a lot of children that are going to be safer. There's a lot of women that are going to be safer, which is great. Like, nothing. I don't find anything wrong in this part of the speech. Mike, do you have anything to add?
Well, how genuine do you really think she is? Because she has been part of this system
Yeah, for a long time.
For 40 years, maybe.
Yeah.
A long time.
No, I mean,
So all of
she
a
has,
sudden,
and
here
she's
it
been
is.
and she's been buddy with Harvey Weinstein. I mean, there's tons of pictures on the internet that show her like at galas and events, like hugging up on the dude. Like that's gonna be really hard. If like the whole thing about this, like her speech, is that they're contemplating a 2020 run, which I think if she did run, she might actually win. Which take it or leave it, good thing, bad thing, I don't know. But here's the thing, is that that's really going to be hard when they start bringing up the fact that, like, so it's going to cancel each other out. You're going to have Trump's, like, bus speech thing, right, what he said, the locker room talk. Then you're going to have pictures of her with a sexual assaulter, which is going to be really hard to divorce yourself from. And she'd have to sit there and say she didn't know, even though a bunch of people knew. That's where it's going to get really difficult for her down the line and in the future if she does decide to do a run. Anyway, we'll go back to the video.
To tyrants and victims and secrets and lies, I want to say that I value the press more than ever before as we try to navigate these complicated times, which brings me to this.
The serious face, like, yeah.
What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially
I see Mike over there
proud
shaking his head
and
out.
inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories. Each of us in this room are celebrated because of the stories that we tell. And this year,
you see the reaction is starting to swing into what she's talking about.
It's not just a story affecting the entertainment industry. It's one that transcends any culture, geography, race, religion, politics, or workplace. So I want tonight to express gratitude to all the women who have endured years of abuse and assault because they, like my mother, had children to feed and bills to pay and dreams to pursue.
And we've all been there, you know, especially like, we'll stop right there for a second. I mean, we've all been there, you know, especially us as being parents and, you know, being in the military. Like we've had those situations where we've had to make choices and decisions to, you know, to make money, and that sucks. Like whether it be selling something. I don't think I've ever been in a position where I've had to, you know, sell
sucking a dick on a Thursday night, you know, been there, done that. Yeah.
Not a man love Thursdays type of situation. Yeah. I've never been in that situation, and I don't think I ever will be. And I would hope that I would never get to that situation. Well, I have to suck a dick for $20. I don't want to be in that situation.
$20 is $20, bro.
$20 is $20, and I hope that never happens to me. I'm telling you, man. Like,
but here's the only problem I have with this. Mm-hmm. And I got it. Her speech. She's speaking to people. She's talking about issues. I got it. Mm-hmm. But she's an actor. Period. You know, actors are good at what they do. They can get up there on a TV screen in a color purple. She got up there and she made a lot of us cry when we watched that movie. Yeah. So it's easy for her to look at a teleprompter, which she does in acting, get all emotional.
So do you think she's actually using a teleprompter in the speech, or do you think it's all memorized? Like that was my question.
She's using a teleprompter, dude. It's impossible for her to memorize that and have that emotion in there because they put all the quotations and the marks in there where she has to get emotional. So they tell her, or she has an earpiece in. So
I mean, she's been doing, like, you know, like I said, she's been doing show business, you know, for a long time. Like she could have memorized the speech entirely, and she knew exactly what points to hit and when to hit it. I mean, like I said, that comes down to being a good rhetorician, like knowing your audience and how to sell an emotional effect in order to appeal to them, and that's cool. Like that's fine. Like I can appreciate that from a you know a rhetoric studies like person. Like I get that. I understand where she's coming for that, and that's fine. Like I honestly wish Donald Trump sounded better than he does, especially with the things that he tries to say. Like that's why a lot of people are going towards, you know, Oprah Winfrey in this situation, that she sounds better than Donald Trump.
And the other issue is she's talking to a crowd of the people. She's bringing up an issue to the same people that are doing the issues that she's talking about.
Right.
Billionaires, millionaires in that audience right now.
Yeah.
That are sitting there clapping along.
Yeah, exactly. How many working Joes are in that audience right
There's now? None. It's all a bunch of rich freaking elitists who are giving each other awards with a big bottle of, behind that blonde chick, Dom Perignon there.
Perignon.
You know, a big bottle of that in her $10,000 freaking dress that she has on.
But I
And
mean,
they're sitting
in
here.
Oprah's defense, she does do a lot for charity. She has done a lot of things over the years with her money. So like we can't get around that. Like
and there's a lot of non-rich people that do a lot of things with the money that they don't have that she has.
That's absolutely true. I agree with that.
There's a lot of people out there that do a lot of things with the money, but they don't have the money that she has.
Right, exactly.
I just don't find her genuine at all. I believe it's an act. I truly believe that it's an act.
All right. Well, let's continue on with the video because we definitely got a lot more to get through.
They're the women whose names we'll never know. They are domestic workers and farm workers. They are working in factories, and they work in restaurants, and they're in academia and engineering and medicine and science. They're part of the world of tech and politics and business. There are athletes in the Olympics, and there are soldiers in the military. And
then that's one of the things you can see, like all the head nods, all the people that are leaning forward. That's all signs that you've got your audience.
Know, and I think you should know too. In 1944, Reese Taylor was a young wife and a mother. She was just walking home from a church service.
See my defensive arms coming up?
In Abbeville, Alabama,
Michael gets like this, something's up.
When she was abducted by 6 armed white men, raped and left blindfolded by the side of the road.
Which is fucked up.
Coming home from church. They threatened to kill her if she ever told anyone. But her story
Okay, stop.
Wait, Mike can't take it anymore. Okay.
All right, stop. Okay. How did she know that they threatened to kill her?
Well, that was the same woman that recently said her story right before she died. It happened recently. It was an article. It was a news story of where she had never told anybody up until now that this had happened. If I remember right. If I'm correct, I'm not. Then okay. But that was the point. It's in this whole movement of the Me Too hashtag that's going on.
Yeah. So let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
So they talk about the Me Too hashtag with the women that are being sexually assaulted within Hollywood, within every industry within our country, as if it's this big epidemic. It really isn't, because I work in an industry where you don't hear about it, or it isn't there. So let's talk about pedophilia. Not once did she mention there are kids that are being targeted. There are children out here being raped. There are children out here. Not once is she's not once during the time we've watched it has she mentioned the children out here that are being targeted by these Hollywood elites. That's where I have a problem. Adult women have a choice. They have a choice. And you talk about Harvey Weinstein and the casting couch, what they like to talk about all the time. Okay, you sat on that couch. You have a fucking choice. No one forced you to come in there and sit on that couch and take off your fucking top and do whatever sexual acts that they forced you to do. But you did it.
I gotta play devil's advocate with that. Yeah, like I gotta play devil's advocate with that. Is like, look, a lot of people feel like they don't have a lot of choice, and I get that. Like I don't demean what has happened to people, and I don't demean what has happened to those particular situations. You're right. Everybody does have a choice, but a lot of people, like psychology, likewise, they don't feel like they have a choice. And so they do go down this dark path of, something they can't, recompense, they can't get, away from. And that sucks. And that's not their fault entirely. I mean, there's certain choices that are made, but it's ultimately somebody that is the predator that is at fault here versus the victim. And we should always remember that for sure. But yeah, go ahead, Michael. What you were continue on with your saying.
And I can agree that a lot of these women don't have choices. They come from areas or places to where this is what they really want to do. So if they have to do what they have to do, whether they want to or not, they're going to do it. So like you said, it's not a choice, but it's something they have to do. And yes, they don't want to do it, and they're going to feel horrible about it later.
Right.
But a lot of these children out there who get pushed into the industry, who get forced because they're kids to do things they don't want to do, they don't really, their mentally capacity, they don't get a choice. So it's kind of messed up. I get where she's going with it, and I agree with her message. I really do. But it's kind of messed up that she doesn't talk about the kids. She's not talking about the children.
That's something that her speech is definitely missing out on. It would have made it much more impactful, but much more appealing if she would have actually added into, you know, the children with there, instead of just focusing just on women, because there are what's the actor that has been calling pedophilia out? Corey
Feldman.
Corey Feldman, yeah. So like his particular instance, or the fact that like not only in this whole like swamp draining in Hollywood, it's also been, you know, Kevin Spacey, who was it was male on male and it wasn't, you know, on female, but that's not actually mentioned anyway. It's focused primarily on women, and I think that it would have been a better, like my honest opinion, would have been a better speech if she mentioned both of those, because it's not just a women's issue. It is definitely it's you know, it comes in multi aspects, you know, whether it be children or it be, you know, other young men that are being, you know, victimized as well. It's not just women in the industry. It is the majority of women. I'll say that it is the majority of women that are having this issue, but there are others that are, you know, being victimized as well. Anyway, we should go back to the video itself and play a little bit more.
The name of Rosa Parks became the lead investigator on her case, and together they sought justice. But justice wasn't an option in the era of Jim Crow. The men who tried to destroy her were never persecuted. Reese Taylor died 10 days ago, just shy of her 98th birthday. She lived, as we all have lived, too many years in a culture broken by brutally powerful men. For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men.
It's not true.
But their time is up.
I think there's
That's not true.
I think if there's enough people behind you, then they'll believe you. But it also depends on time. You know, a lot of this stuff has been happening around, you know, the political time, who's getting elected at what time. Is a lot of this has been a revolving around, which is never should be when the time this kind of information comes out. It should be well before that. And I don't like this trend that is happening where if somebody is getting elected and they do have I'm not saying they don't have these things, they probably do. But if they are in the past where they've been and they haven't been talked about until they're running for office, obviously that looks bad. And you should have come forward well before that. And we shouldn't continue that trend at all. I mean, I'm glad this movement is happening for the fact that they can actually feel like they have the power to come forward. And it's not just women, it's men, it's children that can come forward and say, hey, I'm being hurt by someone. And they can get the help that they need, and they get the justice they need. And her, point of the speech with the woman from, the 1950s being, assaulted and then never finding justice is a travesty. Like, that should never happen in the United States. And I hate that has happened in the past. And then hopefully in the future, nothing like this will happen again. But, everything's not perfect. The world's not perfect.
I don't know, dude. My thing with the past, we should respect the past, and we should, think about the past so we don't repeat the things that happen.
Right.
But to constantly use things that happened 40, 50 years ago as a base of your platform, I have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. Sorry it happened 50 years ago. That was a part of our history that no one is proud of.
Yeah, nobody wants to repeat that.
They constantly use it as a platform. 50 years ago or whatever, Jim Crow laws. Okay. Here we are in 2017. Oprah, you are the richest Black American in this fucking country. Woman.
What is she? She makes it in like the top 3 richest Black people in the world. Yeah.
In the world.
And
you're sitting here pretty much telling all these poor women. You're not talking to the elitists out there that have millions of dollars.
I disagree with that. I think she's talking to it a little bit because there are probably women in that audience that but never spoke out about it because of how it makes them look or they feel.
But they're not, dude. Dollars. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. They're not gonna fucking ruin their whole career, their whole livelihood, over that. They're talking to the poor people that they know that are watching this show, constantly telling them that you're a victim. You're a victim. And a man at some point in your life told you had a fat ass. That's sexual harassment. I just don't agree, man. I mean, I got her message. I got where she's going with it. I understand that, sexual harassment. No real man on the planet agrees that any woman, we have mothers, sisters, daughters. Any woman should be sexual assaulted, sexually harassed, or anything. As
Yeah,
a father,
never.
I have a son, so I don't. Do I think about my son wanting to do things, get into that industry, and I have to worry about some weird
Some weird
old
pedophile.
guy,
Yeah.
pedophile trying to say, hey, if you want this shot, you have to do this. Yes,
Yeah,
I
if
worry
you want
about
this
that.
particular job, you gotta.
Yeah, of course I worry about that.
I
But
worry about it too.
it's her platform, what she's using right now. She's pushing the wrong message, because if she really stands for unity and equality, she would talk about all genders and people that have been affected by sexual assault, sexual harassment within that industry.
Right, but that's not the hot button issue. It's about women and women's rights and women's equality and stuff like that. So they kind of get to the wayside because they're not as important. It's just the way that it is, and that sucks that it's that way. Anyway, we should go back to the video, try to finish this off. Let's just go ahead and finish it, and then we'll talk about the ending of it.
The time is up.
Standing ovation.
Of course, they told him to stand.
Time is up.
Let me look as angry as
I just
possible.
hope,
Well, there's a couple of angry
I
faces
just
there.
hope that Reese
They find the one
Taylor
white
Couple
guy
died
faces that know
knowing
she's
that
part of the
her
problem.
truth, like the truth of so many other women
Or things
who were
like
tormented in
hypocrisy
those
there.
years, and even now tormented, goes marching on. It was somewhere in Rosa Parks' heart almost 11 years later when she made the decision to stay seated on that bus in Montgomery.
Like a
And it's
sexual
here
harassment
with
on a
every
sexual harassment
woman
video.
who
Jesus.
chooses to say, me too. And every man
So serious.
who chooses to listen. In my career, what I've always tried my best to do, whether on television or
Look.
through film, is to say
Harpo.
something about how men and women really behave, to say how we experience shame, how we love and how we rage, how we fail, how we retreat, persevere, and how we overcome. And I've interviewed and portrayed
cadence.
people who've withstood some of the ugliest things life can throw at you. But the one quality all of them seem to share is an ability to maintain hope for a brighter morning, even during
Hope and change.
our darkest nights. So I want all the girls watching here and now to know
That dude's
a
stash,
new
though.
day is on
puts yours
the
to shame.
horizon.
Yeah, and I think it was at this point that like people were saying
And
like this is
when
the
that
2020
new
run right
day
there.
finally dawns, it will be because of a lot of magnificent women, many of whom are right here in this room tonight, and some pretty
Elitist.
phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure that they become the leaders who take us to the time when nobody ever has to say, me too, again.
So like that's the end of the speech, and like I said, like it's not bad, right? Like there's nothing bad about her speech that you can really pick out, and it's like, oh, that's that's stupid. At least not for me. I mean, Mike has some issues with it, but
I mean, what I saw was a bunch of fucking action star beta fucking males up there clapping to this shit. Beta motherfucking males who are
Beta
action
males.
fucking stars.
right.
She talked to women. And that's what I talk about this identity bullshit. If she plans on running in 2020, that platform, she lost a lot of men right there that will probably vote for her.
I doubt that. I mean, honestly, like that's not gonna matter. Like they might not,
No.
what you call it? They're not gonna give donations to her, probably not. But I mean, I don't think that she shot herself in the foot with that. I really don't.
I mean, did you see her husband, Stedman? You see his face?
Yeah,
He was like,
I did see.
he was
I
like,
did see his
this
face.
bitch is lying. This bitch is lying. She got all types of people up in the house, orgies and shit. She keep me in a guest house.
I mean, that's kind of the danger. Like if you put yourself out there on like that national platform, and like anything in your past is gonna come out, man. Like that. There's no avoiding it. It's gonna happen.
And here's the thing. Donald Trump put out a tweet, I think last month or the month before.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, 2020, when 2020 comes around, if the DNC, whoever they put up against me, better be a face that no one knows. Because if I know you,
yeah, he's gonna
have something on you.
And
I
that would be
guarantee he has something on Oprah. I guarantee.
That would be interesting to see because he has known Oprah for a long time. Like a lot of those people have known each other for a long time. And hell, even Trump knew Hillary Clinton for a long time. People like kind of forget that they knew each other, and he donated a crap ton of money to Democratic causes for a long time. Like we're talking decades. And
he has a lot on her.
And it wasn't until recently that he went Republican and ran on a ticket. Like that's the only difference.
And then what did Hillary say? She said, if he gets elected, we're all going to be hanging from a fucking noose.
Yeah.
She knew. She knows. She knows. So he has a lot. So, yeah, Oprah got it. If you run. God bless your soul if you run. I loved Oprah Winfrey's show back in the day, but Oprah
show was happening.
Yeah, the minute she became this super left-wing kind of nut job, I was like, oh, I'm done. Even when she interviewed Donald Trump, and back in the 80s or 90s, she asked him if he was going to run for president. She was very intrigued with him running for president.
That's true. I totally forgot about that. That they actually she was actually interviewing him.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy. And the same thing Donald Trump said in that interview, it's the same thing he's saying now. He hasn't changed.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he got like a little more senile in his old age. I don't know, but when he was like younger, he would have been better if he ran. Because like it's funny that like Floyd Mayweather said that. Remember, it was like Donald Trump wasn't racist, and until he ran for the president and won, like presidency and won, like that was his view on that, which is a very unpopular view for anybody in the celebrity arena to say that they are a Donald Trump supporter. Like at all, like you cannot do that. Period. Without getting in trouble. And I think that's a terrible state of politics today, that you actually have to worry about offending somebody by saying, hey, I'm right leaning, or I'm a conservative, or I'm a libertarian. No, that doesn't happen anymore.
I mean, I got it, especially if she runs, her running partner is going to be like Michelle Obama. That's a deadly ticket right there. That is a deadly ticket for, any Republican that runs up against them. Yeah, 100% guarantee. That ticket right there, if you run up against them, right there, you're done. So, what Donald Trump has to do is he has to stick to his guns, keep everything in his tool bag.
Yeah, he's got to stay to his base, man. Like that's the
stay to your base, man. And his base is building, believe it or not. His base is building and building and building.
Especially when his tax plan kicks in. Yeah, his tax plan is what's really saving him right now from a lot of headache. And that's damn, what was I gonna say with that? Anyway. Yeah, his tax plan is saving a lot of businesses right now. Especially one of our episodes, we have White Orchid Tactical did a great explanation of it. If you haven't listened to any of our podcasts, you should go listen to them, and then you kind of get an understanding of what we do. But basically, it came down to them is like, this isn't trickle-down economics. What it is giving businesses a better chance of expanding, not only employees but getting the stuff that they need. And then adding more to the economy. It's not going directly into their pockets. It's going directly into their businesses.
Yep.
It's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
Huge.
But
I would tell Oprah, run. Tell Stedman he could be the first man in the house, and he could sleep in a guest house like he always has. But every time I look at Stedman, I think of her in Color Purple. I think of Harpo. You told Harpo to beat me.
It's so wrong.
But hey,
but so right.
Hey, Oprah. I will never knock her like that. She's super smart. She's super wealthy. She's a fucking genius when it comes to the freaking industry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's arguing media, everything. Yeah, she is a billionaire, multi-billionaire. She has companies everywhere.
She's one rich bitch. All right.
Yeah, she's rich as hell. That's why Dave Chappelle's show got canceled because of her. But we'll talk about that later.
No way. Like no
yes way.
Like, his
Yes, way.
his recent stand up on Netflix, he actually went into that a little bit, and he kind of vaguely explained what happened. Is basically keeping a part of himself, and that there was like a fallout in agreements with
The
comedy
black,
scene. Yeah.
well, it had something to do with, and I saw this video of it. It has something to do with the black hierarchy of
Yeah.
comedy, media, everything, TV.
That's
So
we should actually watch. I need to bring that segment up, and on maybe next time when we come live is play that of how he's talking about everybody being too sensitive and him getting in trouble for the whole trans jokes that he made. That would actually be pretty
yep.
good. Anyway,
And that was one of the reasons why his show got canceled, because they
Yeah.
said he was too hard on black people. His sketch comedy, he made more fun of black people.
I don't think he was. That's where he comes from. Like, what else is he supposed to make fun of then, if
Yeah.
not himself? I don't know. Anyway, point being is, we'll see what happens 2020. Like, if Oprah runs, I think if she did win, like my honest opinion, I think she would win if she did, compared to Donald Trump. And she's probably the only person that they could probably throw out there that would not only fit their boxes that they want, is on their side, and is not only that, as a woman, and she's black, so she fits all. Like I said, she fits all the boxes.
Literally a box.
Literally a box. They have to fit in that box now. Anyway, but I don't think it would be bad. It could have been worse. She's definitely better than Hillary Clinton, and she should never run ever again for any office. Never.
Well, she's going to jail soon, so
hopefully
don't worry
we can
about
all
that.
this up. Anyway, America, check us out on Facebook. Listen to our podcast. We're going to be doing a lot more live streamings like this on Mixer, on Twitch. Going to be doing on Periscope and pretty much everything now, all at once. So if you don't want to watch us on Facebook, you can watch us on Twitch. You can watch us on Periscope. You can watch us on their console. It's cool. It's fine.
Xbox Live. No,
Right,
I'm
exactly.
kidding.
We should definitely do that. Anyway.
But tomorrow or Wednesday's episode.
Wednesday's episode, we got Joe Biggs coming on. He's going to talk with us and kind of BS. Great episode. Come on to listen. It's going to be on iTunes and Stitcher Wednesday. It will be on Wednesday, usually at 2 o'clock in the morning, but you don't have to listen to it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd love you if you did, but you don't have to.
Set it as your alarm.
Yeah, right. 2 o'clock. Going to do it.
And we have some other
This is the
we have
great
some other
vibes.
things coming on, so coming up real soon.
Yeah, we're expanding. We're doing a lot of great things. We're going to start doing more sketches. Well, we haven't done any sketches yet, but we're going to be doing some stuff Hooch oriented and our brand of comedy, along with keeping things semi-serious, like semi-chub.
Try.
When you're rubbing, like, that semi-chub you get when you're like in the sleeping bag in the Hooch, like it's just you by yourself, and like that nice like feeling of the whoopee or the sleeping bag, whichever you got. Yeah.
Indeed, I know.
We know. You know what we're talking about. Anyway, we love you,
Exactly.
America, and we will see you next time here on the Hooch Live. Also, check out the podcast Wednesday, and we'll be back next time. We love you,
And we're out.
We're out.